Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Important contract detail could breath unlikely hope into explosive Warriors reunion. The Golden State Warriors reportedly have no limits in their desire to add a big name prior to the February 6th deadline, with renewed interest in even the most unlikeliest options thanks to Luka Doncic's stunning move to the Los Angeles Lakers on Saturday. Name the biggest stars in the league, and they've probably been linked to the Warriors in some form over the last few hours, starting with all-time great duo Kevin Durant and LeBron James. Jake Pfizer of the Stein Line reported on Monday that Golden State not only have interest in each player but are also considering whether they could outdo the Lakers' move for Doncic by acquiring both superstar players. Landing either Durant or James would be considered a pipe dream at this stage, let alone both together, yet who knows what's possible in the wake of the Doncic trade that sent Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. One thing in Golden State's favor is Durant's contract situation in Phoenix, with Anthony Slater of The Athletic reporting on Monday that the 2XF Finals MVP has an extra level of control about his future and inability to acquire Butler has many in the league speculating about Durant's future in Phoenix. He hasn't signed a contract extension beyond next season, giving him an extra level of control about his future, Slater reported. Slater would go on to outline the very notable event of Warrior owner Joel Ercab hosting and sitting next to Durant's agent Rich Kleiman during Friday's blowout loss to the Suns was that just a friendly catch-up or a sign of something significant in the works? If Durant actually did want to explore a reunion in Golden State, then he could theoretically put pressure on the Suns front office to move him before the deadline. We just saw De'Aaron Fox and his management maneuver their way to the San Antonio Spurs for what many view as a cheap price, largely because of his impending 2026 free agency and refusal to sign an extension with the Sacramento Kings. This is what breathes a little bit of life into a Warriors scenario that's still very unlike. The same could actually be said of James and his contract situation, given he's got a player option for next season, though all indications suggest he and the Lakers have no intention of breaking up in the wake of Don's arrival. Steve Kerr breaks a clipboard to wake up Warriors and win over Magic. Andrew Wiggins scored a team best 25 points. Steph Curry added 16 of his 24 in the second half, and the Golden State Warriors overcame one of their worst offensive hell of the season to beat the Orlando Magic 104-99 on Monday night. What changed? Coach broke a clipboard. Moses Moody said after contributing 17 points in the win, took us 48 games to get the broken clipboard, added Curry. Thankfully he didn't cut himself this time. Few times he's done that after the Warriors allowed the Magic to grab an offensive rebound off a missed free throw. Steve Kerr led timeout and his frustration boiled over. They missed their first 7 attempts from 3, went without a field goal for multiple stretches of 4+ minutes, and entered halftime with their 6th lowest scoreboard total of the season. They couldn't afford to give away free possessions too. We're not a team that can withstand that, Curry said of KRK message. Asked about their halftime adjustments, K said factiously, just brilliant coaching mainly, but something clicked for Golden State in the second half. Wiggins slammed home their first possession out of the locker room, and the Warriors didn't trail again until the Magic rallied to reclaim a brief 92-90 advantage with 427 remaining. With 107 left, Moody sank the dagger, his corner 3, extending the lead to 99-94. Was the Warriors 7th on 16 attempts in the second half, 43.8% after shooting 21.7%, 5 for 23 from beyond the arc and 36.6%, 15 for 41 from the field in the first half, connecting on 11 of 19 shots in a 39.3 quarters, 6 of 8 from 3. Golden State 10 early matched its scoring output from the entire first half, 43. We didn't come out with the right force that we needed to beat a team like Orlando, said center Kevin Looney, who led their Warriors with 16 rebounds and 6 assists. We didn't match their physicality early. Steve got on us and we responded as a group. It's a long season. There are going to be some games where it takes coach cussing us out to get us going. His hand probably hurts right now. We woke up, Kate said. We were asleep in the first half. We had some possession situations that made no sense. The guys locked in at halftime scored the first 6 or 8 points of the second half and set a really good tone that got us lead. Of course they were able to battle back in the fourth, but we were able to hang on. Slow starts have been a season-long struggle for these Warriors, who ranked third to last in first quarter, scoring 26.6 and required 3 Curry free throws with less than a second left in the opening period to come within 9 points of that total. Monday night it was their 9th time in 49 games they had been held to 45 points or fewer in the first half, but the first time they pulled out a win. I think we were playing hard in the first half, we just weren't executing well, Curry said. Silly mistakes like giving up offense rebounds off of free throws. We didn't execute a couple inbounds plays out of timeouts. We were just a little choppy, and then we connected both sides of the floor in the third quarter, closing out a 4-2 home. And the win also featured the return of Draymond Green, who grabbed 7 rebounds, dished out 5 assists and scored 4 points in 29 minutes in his first game since January 9. Notably, it was the Warriors' first time holding an opponent to double digits in nearly 2 months. Philadelphia 76ers Golden State Warriors make major Paul George trade decision. It is safe to say that Paul George has not impressed many with his performances since joining the Philadelphia 76ers last summer in a 4-year $212 million deal. On top of his disappointing performances, he has dealt with multiple injuries as well, so the general view is that at 34 years of age his career has entered a downward trajectory, yet that has not put off the Golden State Warriors from trying to bring in George once again after they failed to do so in the summer. The Warriors were believed to be in the mix for George but could not agree a deal with the Los Angeles Clippers, which ultimately led to his exit in free agency. Now, as we quickly head towards the February 6th trade deadline, it looks like George is drawing interest, and it is not just from the Warriors. According to Keith Pompey of the Inquirer, the Atlanta Hawks and Warriors have expressed interest in acquiring George ahead of Thursday's 3 p.m. trade deadline. Their Warriors seem to be in desperation to add a star to their roster right now, as the team have struggled to find any sort of rhythm, and even Stephen Curry is showing signs that age is starting to catch up. The Warriors know that they have very little time to engineer another championship run with Curry as the ace of the franchise, and bringing in someone like George would be swinging for the fences in the hope that it works out. Admittedly, George has shown some positive signs lately. In his last 10 outings for the 76ers, he has averaged 20.5 points, 5.8 rebounds and 4.6 assists while shooting 47% from the field and 44.7% from beyond the arc. That is the version of George that the Warriors would be hoping for if they are able to make a trade happen. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Paul George? Leave your opinion in the comments.